So I'm super excited about this topic, to be honest, because this is I'm super passionate, and I'll properly introduce myself properly in a second. But I'm super passionate about the whole like AI search and the strategy, and we have been working with the B2B technical brands implementing the AI search strategies in like in practice. This is not something that I did in, this is not theory, and I was sounding like ChatGPT, for God's sake. But the AI search strategy is something that I've been working on for the last almost 2 years. And retrospectively, probably that was one of the most interesting times in my whole career. So today we will be talking about the things that B2B teams should stop, start, and measure. But before we jump there, I have a question to the group, and feel free to use the chat. Give me a plus in the chat if that's you who stopped using Google recently. And I'll go first. I don't know how about you guys, but I'm not Googling anymore that often. Yes, thank you, Nina. Thank you. I am just giving this like AI assistants, Claude, ChatGPT. I use both. I'm giving them a lot of more questions and tasks that I would usually, or search tasks or research tasks that I would usually go to and use Google for. And I'm not alone. And in this particular case, when we see that shift from us and our clients and our customers, our prospects doing the same, this is where things become super interesting, because now most of the discoveries start in AI. So if people don't use Google anymore, where did they go? Not that often anymore. Where did they go? To AI, right? So what would it look like for your pipeline if your brand is the answer in your prospects AI chats? What would it look like? That's exactly what we will be talking about today, how to get there, how to make sure that our brands are mentioned and recommended by AI. And before we jump there, let me properly introduce myself. Some of you know me already, some of you see me for the first time. So my name is Ludmila. I'm CEO of Rampik Agency. We work with B2B IT and SaaS companies and technical brands we help our clients and our partners drive more visibility. Thank you, Gary. Thank you. And drive more visibility and revenue from AI search and LinkedIn ads. Today, we will be focusing mostly on the AI search part of it, but I'm also, apart from just talking about AI search, I have built Vertology AI a year ago. That's the tool for tracking how LLMs cite and see brands. One of the first tools out there that can help you understand your brand's visibility in AI. And currently, I'm the advisor to Amadora AI, the AI search optimization platform. So I'm super hands-on when it comes to AI search. And in the end of this session, we will have an extended Q&A session, and I will be open to any questions that you might have about AI search, how and where you stand in it, and how to start getting your brand recommended better in AI answers. Now, the reality is, and the new reality is, that around 80%, or even more, 86 to be precise, of B2B buyers now start the research in AI tools. And the trick here is that it happens before they visit your website. This is something mind-blowing, because the old playbook was teaching us that we need to be super visible on search as a channel. Why? Because if you win the blue links game, you win the game of visibility and traffic to your website. But the new reality is that even if you are winning in Google now, you still may be losing in the AI search, because that's something that I hear over and over on my consultancy and other conversations with our prospects and our clients. So, hey, we have been investing in SEO for years, but here we are barely showing up in ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, Claude doesn't see us. So what does it mean? It does mean that the game has changed. It does not mean that you're behind on SEO. No, you're not. It's just the game itself has evolved. This is how we see the ecosystem of the AI search now. And if you look at the left-hand side here, you have the native AI search. Those are the experiences, the search experience that happens within the platforms. When you are chatting with Claude or ChatGPT, you will have the model to pull. You'll have the model pulling data from two different brains, right? One that's going to be the model's memory, something that it knows about the world before the training cutoff date, and the second part will be the live, like real-time searches. And this is how the model will blend its knowledge from its memory with the real-time search data. It will look at the context of your conversation and synthesize the answer. In ChatGPT, you are likely to see the references now. Claude will also give you that. But in some cases, the model will not even, like, it will give you the citations at the very bottom of your conversation, but probably it will not even bother to give you the reference next to the answer anymore. Why? Because the models don't really want you to leave the conversation. They want you to keep, they want to keep you within the dialogue that you're currently having. Rightly so. Attention, the new currency, the most expensive one nowadays. Now, the traditional search. This is where things are becoming more and more interesting. And for context, I have been doing SEO for more than 17 years, and I still remember that Google's zoo of updates, Penguin, Panda, Calibri, and whatnot. It's very old stuff. But that was all around this part, around the search index over here. And the old search concept, the old search model was serving just one purpose: give you the answer and the links to click to get to the answer. So the best pages were winning the game. Now, starting in 2024, the May 2024, Google introduced AI overviews. Those are the synthesized AI answers that sit on top of the search results. To make it even more interesting, recently Google introduced AI mode. It's a totally different user search experience, and if you are still on Google, you'll see that the search box almost became like a chat box. When you ask something, you'll see the AI overview and a little like a follow-up thing that will take you to AI mode. And I was thinking back in the day that zero-click was terrible for the businesses. Now I am looking at, I'm even more terrified when I look at how search experience changed. On top of that, a few weeks ago on Google I/O conference, they announced that Google is now AI search. Google search is AI search through and through, quote to quote. What does it mean? For the AI overviews and the AI mode, now Google has the Gemini 3.5. This is the new model that sits between the search box. Then we have the Gemini, the model, and then we have the traditional search index and the Gemini model memory plus decision making. So every AI overview now is being filtered through the model, meaning that some of that information will be still pulled from the Google search index, but some of that information will be coming from completely different sources compared to the traditional search databases. How do we know that? And then still, like, everything that I'm saying is still mind-blowing to me too, in a way. In the most recent research from Ahrefs, the data shows that around 30% of citations, those links that support the AI overviews answers, they don't have the presence in top 100 organic results. So let's think about it for a second. You ask Google something, and the previous conception was like, if you rank well somewhere in the closer to top 10 results, you have good chances to be included in AI overview. Yes, you still have those chances, but in 30% of those cases, the links in the AI overviews will not be ranking in top 100 organic results at all, meaning the Gemini as a model took them from somewhere else, not from the search index, not from the organic results, from the model, or from the model memory, or from the model experience. This is where we are entering this thing, the AI-powered discovery. And whether you are now on the native AI search playground chatting with your favorite AI assistant, or whether you are on a more traditional search background, Googling or browsing through AI overviews, your experience as a user will be largely affected by everything related to citations, recommendations, and mentions. And it's not just us, people on this call, marketers or professionals. This is our prospects too. That is the new thing that we are now experiencing, our prospects are experiencing, and knowing that, understanding how the whole thing works, opens up the doors for further optimizations and for things that we need to stop doing, start doing, and measuring. That's the whole purpose of our conversation today. The thing is, the cost can seem invisible until it isn't. If we don't know if AI recommends our competitor or how AI recommends or doesn't recommend us, we are losing the pipeline. And the frustrating news here is that up until recently, we were not able to even understand and see what's happening within those conversations. And AI traffic was really hard to detect in the dashboards. And being a practitioner, being like hands-on professional, I do understand, and you guys also know, you cannot fix what you cannot see. So that's why we are entering the new media, the new channel, and understanding of the change is the key thing that we need to acknowledge before we start adjusting our strategy and before we start chasing the new things that now matter in this world. So the key difference, AI doesn't rank by keywords. It reasons. It uses entities, citations, and mentions. We will be talking about those three things, very important things for us a little bit later. But the main thing that I see a lot is that most of the brands are still optimizing for the old scorecard. Let's invest more into ranking high. The thing is, the shift is over, the meteorite has already hit the earth, and now we are dealing with the consequences. So my goal for today is to equip you with the knowledge and the hands-on things that you can start implementing for your AI search strategy right away. And although there is nothing you can buy on this webinar, I will give you the ways to interact with me and with my team if you have questions, if you need any help or assistance later on during the session, if that's okay with you. So now, how do we think about the mentions, citations, and entities? First things first, the mention is when AI actually lists your brand in the answer, whether it's going to be a dialogue in ChatGPT or it's going to be mentioned in AI overviews. That's going to be the instance when your brand is shown in the answer itself. The citations are the links, the URLs, the proof that AI uses for assessing whether to include your brand into the mention or not. It's very important. I'll show you how it works later on in our conversation. But for now, we need to memorize that the citation is the URL, the page where the AI took some information from. Not exactly the answer itself, because the answer is often still always synthesized, but this is kind of like, this is something that AI trusted enough to include it into the citations for that particular answer. And another super important concept is the entity. Think about it as a broader representation of your brand. The entity is how AI knows who you are, what your brand is, and what you sell and whom you serve. That's going to be a combination of your own content, your own website. It is going to be the combination of your own media. If you have the strong leadership team who is active on social media, on podcasts, interviews, in the press, that's going to be their digital footprint closely associated with the brand, and it's going to be also the part of that entity. It will be the publications, publicly available information online about your brand, reviews, and other signals that AI will take into account when thinking how to categorize your brand. So the main purpose of the entity is in AI's search world is understanding of where to put you. Are you a CRM software? Are you an accounting software? Do you serve B2B customers, or are you on B2C side? This is where AI uses entities to understand who you are and what you do. Excuse me. So the playbook, things to stop, start, and measure. Excuse me. So one thing where we need to start. This is the first thing that we need to stop doing is treating rankings as visibility. So the older playbook, the old way, was to make your brand as visible on search as possible. Now, the ranking number one, as we just covered in the very beginning of the session, does not really guarantee your inclusions into AI answers. So now you kind of have the two scoreboards. And what's important about it is the fundamental understanding that the click is no longer the first touch, because AI sees before the click to your website. It is a paradigm in the mindset shift that I see people struggle with a lot, because currently I'm still talking to a lot of teams, a lot of in-house teams, and a lot of professionals that say, hey, but still, like, we have the dashboards, we are looking at the traffic, we are looking at the impressions, we are looking at all the metrics associated with our own content and our own website. Guess what? You still can trust the data, but now you have the only partial perspective for this measurement and for this approach. So the one thing that we recommend brands to stop doing is we recommend to stop looking at your performance through the lens of the older SEO, only traffic, or only impressions dashboards. I know it's a little bit scary and it's a little bit mind-blowing, but there are new generation of tools which we will hopefully have time to review today that will give you the visibility into how your brand performs on AI, or how exactly to estimate and measure your AI visibility. So we will need to add the new measurement system and the new metrics on top of what we currently measure. But it all starts from understanding that now if you only look at your Google Analytics, Google Search Console, Ahrefs, SEMrush data, everything related to your content performance on search, you are missing out that layer of AI visibility and assessment of its impact on your brand's performance and on the pipeline. So we would like more and more brands to build the signals that AI reasons with. LLMs, large language models, are still operating on primarily same fundamental principles. And I have been in the data science classes for some of my education adventures, and when I looked at how, and I was actually building very primitive, but I was building the models myself back in the day, even before OpenAI became a thing. So when I look at the current LLMs, of course, they are massive, they're gigantic, they are very different from the early stages models, but they still operate by the same principles. A car is still a car. you can still like you can run you can actually drive a Kia, sorry, if there are any Kia owners here there, or you can drive a Lamborghini, but still you will be moving from point A to point B in a very different fashion though. But the the key thing, you will still be driving. That's true for the models, and whatever the model you're optimizing for, you will be still working with the essentials that are true, that hold true for most of the models, for all of the models out there. So when we look at the things that we need to start doing, we need to deliberately build the entities, citations, and mentions that AI trusts. I will show you examples of how to do it, but that's exactly what we do for when we work with our clients, and we have the AI visibility program, the whole experience, the whole business program that I designed for B2B tech brands that is focused exactly on helping strengthen everything that the brands have that now has a deep and meaningful impact on the AI visibility. And we talked about entity citations and mentions before, but now this is where things are becoming super important. So be the entity, be the brand that AI can recognize for doing certain things. Citations, mention and earn the sources that AI cites as a proof that you are the brand, or you are the product, or you are the service provider to be trusted. And those mentions be consistent around your positioning, where you are mentioned and how you are mentioned. Why? Because this is how you send the consistent signal to be included into the recommendations. And let me give you the practical example how a mention can become a pipeline. I have a client, and now they're friends. We have been working for more than 5 years together. They are a service provider. They are a clean tech PR firm, and this is literally from the email that Mike, their CEO, sent me 4 weeks ago. He said, hey, I got a really good sales conversation with a lead, and when I asked how did they find us, it was a new employee who joined their prospects company, and they literally asked AI, ChatGPT in particular, who are the best clean tech PR firms, and Tiger.com was in the answer, and this is exactly how they won that sales conversation. So if we look at the things that just happened here in the practical example, that was a very bottom of the funnel intent. Like, tell me who is the best in doing that particular thing. Their brand is quite an old one, and we worked together on shaping up that entity to be very relatable, very relevant to what they do, clean tech PR. And we were working with them on building the citations and winning the mentions in the highly visible industry websites and industry publications and outlets that AI recognizes as trustworthy. Bring this all together, you get this. So this is exactly what we do for the B2B brands. And as promised, I'll a little bit later, I'll show you how to get your own AI visibility snapshot. So stick around for that. But I want this session to be practical. So we will get to that part in a few minutes from now. So please, let's keep going still to the end, and I'll show you a few practical examples on how you can apply everything that I'm walking you through to your brand. Measurement. As I mentioned, AI visibility is a little bit tricky to measure, but the good news for us as the professionals and the industry professionals is that it's no longer a black box. You can track mentions, you can track citations and AI answers, and you can do it week over week. You can do it over time. And this is something that a lot of teams are still hesitant to do or completely missing out on. I hope after today's session, you will be doing that, and I will equip you with the necessary tools and frameworks how to do it, but please be in the know. Now we have the new generation of the tools that let us assess where we stand as a brand in the AI answers, and we can have the grip on how exactly we are appearing in AI answers and who is appearing next to us. So where, for which prompts? which citations shape up the answers, how do we stack around the competition, who is in the same conversation with us, and how exactly they are recommended, and what's moving over time. I highly encourage you to install that layer of AI visibility measurement in your businesses today, because this is the necessary piece. This is the missing piece that will actually show you how this new reality, the intersection between the native search and traditional search is taking place, and how your brand is represented there. So, a case study about the efficiency, right? And how do you also can translate your effort into measurable results that move the needle. Those AI overviews that we see on top of the search results, they are actually highly measurable if you know how where to look at. And we were able to bring one of our clients, CaseIQ. They are the compliance software from highly regulated industry and environment, but together we made sure that they became highly visible in those AI answers really early. And this is where you can have the direct dominance, like not just visibility, but dominance for a broader range of intents. And this is something that we want to install in every partnership, in every engagement that we have within our portfolio, because the value of this thing is highly transferable into measurable outcomes. And for now, we have two paths for 2026. Whether we are staying in the older bucket, chasing ranking, publishing more content for the sake of content, and hoping that AI catches up and we're staying blind, or we are building strong entities, we earn mentions, and we grow citations. It's up to you guys which path to choose, but I hope this session gives you a perspective into what's possible and what's achievable for us as marketers and as the industry leaders. When we do all three properly, AI will recommend you by default, and you will win the visibility before the competitors and who are still chasing rankings. And we will go to the practical session, practical part of the session, and the hands-on things where I will show you, not just because I've been talking too much, I will show you the some demos. Thank you. And I will show you how exactly the whole thing that I've been briefing you on translates into actionable results. But before we jump there, I wanted to invite you to work with us, to work with me and my team around your personal AI visibility snapshot. This is what we do, and for you exclusively, we opened up a few free slots. They are limited, and you can request it by booking a meeting with on the links. And thank you, Nina, for providing the link in the chat. If things that I have been talking about, briefing you on, resonate with where you stand. But if you have questions around anything that I've been talking and which are relatable to your brand, please don't hesitate to schedule some time with us. We will prepare the individualized audit for you, and we will walk you through the findings so that you can see where you stand, where the gaps are, and we will leave you with the plan. So with that, let me jump into the live session, and I think we have Joey. We have Joey from Logile, right? But do we have Joey on the call? Or not? I think we had Joey in the call. That's totally fine. And also let me then show you something else. I will be showing you the demo of, and also do we have because some of you nominated your brands to be audited, and do we have Tina? Yeah, Tina, we do have you on the call, right? Feel free to unmute yourself if you're here. If not, that's totally fine. So let me show you what's possible for the brands that we will be auditing. So this is exactly, and this is very interesting. I'll show you an example of the audit that we did literally this Monday. And this is the preview of what to expect on if you guys want to talk to us at some point. So this is the AI visibility audit that highlights your competition. It highlights where you stand in all the platforms, in the Gemini, ChatGPT, and Perplexity. And what's cool about it, and we talked about mentions, we talked about citations. It's really cool that we can now see the exact answers for prompts that are of interest to us. And what's more important here is that we can categorize them. We can break them down by the buyer stage, like category discovery or the use case discovery. And we can actually measure the visibility rank. We can measure the average position, similar to how we do it in search. And what's more important about it is that we can actually see where exactly AI is missing out on or like where we are missing out and what immediately we can change in our positioning to drive more relevancy and more and properly shaped up citations and mentions. In this particular case, and it was a really cool example, they are the data analytics platform and relatively new brand, software as a service, and platform as a service providers. And I asked them, like, guys, when was the last time you updated your LinkedIn page? And let me address the same question to you. So when was the last time you updated your LinkedIn page? Why? Because this is the highly visible asset that almost every brand, every B2B brand has or needs to have. And they looked at like, oh my God, yes, this is not something that we do, not anymore. They pivoted a little bit and they introduced new things, but they forgot to update the asset that is in their full control. And if after today's session, you need an action point, at least one practical action point, go ahead and take a look at your LinkedIn page and update the company description so that it actually reflects where you stand as a brand. And if you're on the technical side of things, think about other assets, think about other media that you own or can easily control, because that can be highly visible for AI. Look, GitHub, super visible, super relevant thing for a tech company. And look at the description of the brand. Super generic. It doesn't really add on to anything. How easy is it to update the tagline to reflect what exactly the brand does? Super easy. Did they know about it? No. Did they think about it? No. So the reason why I'm showing this to you is that we need to change the mindset. We need to change how we think about AI's perception of our brand. It is different. And when we look at the things that we can do, and for example, in this particular case, when we talk about the citations, it's now easier to trace back where the brand was mentioned and which URLs, which particular citations took part into shaping those AI answers that people will see in the conversations. So if there's something that you would like to do with us, you have the meeting link, but I'm also happy to provide you the audit, so you can drop the comment. If you can comment audit in the chat, me and Nina will pick it up and we will send you similar analysis that you can explore on your own or with us. That's my gift to you today, because this is something that I encourage every brand to have, at least the understanding where you stand in those AI answers, where you stand in the new media and the new channel that we are now all exposed to. So whether go ahead and book a meeting with us, I will walk you through your results, similar to what we just saw on the screen, or drop a comment in the chat, and we will reach out with your audit results separately. And one more thing that I wanted to show you, which is very interesting, is it's just a snapshot, right? Interesting enough to take a look at, but what does what's happening over time? How do we know if we are evolving? If our work on content, entities building, mentions, everything, if it gives us enough momentum and enough results. I wanted to show you my brand, but actually, let me see. This is the same brand, but I wanted to show it to you in a way where we can see the performance over time. Just give me a second. So probably I'll show you the other example. So one of the brands that I know and trust, they are the service providers. And now this is where we can have the extended understanding of how things change over time. And you can see that if we are tracking enough prompts, if we are tracking them by grouping, the numbers here, like the average position and also the things around the executions of the prompts here, they will be more meaningful and more actionable for you over time. So to the point where we can see the last 30 days, and we can look at how the certain things around citations and topics are changing over time. And you can see that we can have like the share of voice and the brand presence in citations measured and actually translated into the work that we do and into the results that we can see. So with that, let me open the floor for Q&A. I'm pretty sure that you guys might have questions that I am eager to answer. Feel free to post them in the chat, or if it's comfortable for you, feel free to unmute yourself. I want this to be as interactive as possible. Anything that comes to mind? Yeah, Gary, go ahead. I see the two questions from you in the chat. So to have a tool to track AI visibility and credibility, I will reach out to you after this call, and I'll send you the link. And if you're interested in getting that tool for your business, the tool is called Amadora.ai. But I'm happy to share my personal promo code for you, so that you have like a massive discount for your trial and for at least the first months of your subscription, because that tool that I was just showing, it's really powerful. And as I am an advisor to that brand, I'm happy to arrange a walkthrough for you with the brand's founder, because that's something that we will definitely recommend to have in your marketing stack. And which AIs do you see the consumers using in the future, and why? That's a great question, and that's something that I wanted to also talk a little bit about, because when we are in the fast-paced environment of AI's evolution, that would be and the B2B, yes. So that would be the two sectors, at least, where the split is coming. And again, this is kind of like my perspective plus like as I read quite a lot about the sector development, it's also backed up by some recent research. So the vision is that we will have the AI for different areas of our lives. So your question about like clarify for B2B, that is definitely true, because Claude and Anthropic seem to win the corporate segment. For private sector, where we have a lot of tech companies that do heavy lifting in terms of research, coding, synthesizing, where they use the models beyond the charts, but also through Cowork or Cloud Code or similar tasks, which are like the tasks heavy. So if we're talking about tech brands or tech heavy industries, that would be more of the Anthropic side of things, because their models are perfect for delivering those complex tasks. If we are talking about more like a B2C components. That would be mostly the ChatGPT and or other tools that are more suitable for personalized use. So this is where we stand in that kind of like it's super interesting, because this is where the models development, they're still babies in a way. And if we are to invest into the AI visibility today, I would say that the principles of winning the AI citations, mentions, and recommendations are still roughly the same. But if we look into the future, and I don't have the crystal ball, but I can imagine that I have one, I would say that it will be similar to when like the first browsers appear, because they serve the same purpose. The browsers back in the day and now as well, they used to be our windows to the internet. Now models are our like chat assistants are our windows to the world of AI and what AI can do. And I think depending on the AI capabilities development in general, we will be seeing that split between the use cases. So one thing will be great for personal things, and let's say it's going to be Meta or basic models or free models of ChatGPT. For corporate use, the Claude will be most likely the go-to model because of their capabilities of handling the complex tasks. But there is also one group of AI in the AI world that stands apart. Those are the frontier labs. Those are the AI departments within Meta, within Google, within IBM, those gigantic firms that are now driving AI forward. And I would watch out them first. They are the trend setters. And if we want to use the signal in this world, like where the whole thing is coming, as in any market, this is where the money goes. Those gigantic companies, they invest a lot of money, like into developing their models. So the signal from them will be the indicator where the whole thing is going. And I hope that explains, like that answers your question. And hey, Raymond, I see you joining a little bit later, but we were talking about the AI visibility and the AI search strategies. So if you have any questions about it, we are like in the Q&A mode, but feel free to ask them if you have any. And also a couple of more things. I do have the next webinar coming up, and it will be exactly on measurement. So Nina, if you can post the link in the chat so that people can grab it, and we will be talking about the measurement exactly. I think you get a great question. I'll get to that in a second. So we will during the next session we'll be talking about exactly the how to track certain things. So how do we set up the tracking? Which prompts we gonna be using? How do we measure the citations and mentions? How do we look up the competitors? So that's gonna be probably one of the best ways to get acquainted with this new environment and the metrics that we are now can incorporate into our measurement system. So I highly encourage you to join us, and thank you, Nina, for sharing that link. And to your question about the paid AI. So OpenAI now, like we have access to OpenAI ads, meaning that we can launch as an agency, we can launch the campaigns on ChatGPT. Have I tried it yet? No. Why? Because it's only available for free users, and I still don't really trust the guardrails mechanisms that OpenAI has placed around the paid ads. My experience with the performance marketing tells me that I'd rather wait a little bit up until the model is a little bit more mature. And by model itself, I don't mean even like the LLM behind it. I mean the business model of monetizing AI. I don't think that we are yet in the position where we can predictably run the advertising campaigns and figure out the intent clearly. So to give you an example, like why I think so, is because the average length of the prompt is around 20 words. The average length of the keyword that people type in, 4 to 5. Meaning that even if you're trying to advertise semantically, or if you apply the sentiment analysis and all the intent processing, all the LLM intelligence around the conversation, around the context of conversation, and you're trying to place your ads in there, I'm pretty sure you will be misfiring right now, because this processing and this kind of like LLM's smartness greatly depends on the context window itself. So knowing a little bit of the background, how the models work, I will be inclined to think that now the targeting in any AI, any AI advertising will be still not precise. Maybe that could be great for awareness and for B2C massive brands that need more customer base, and for them it's just another channel. It's like running a TV ad where you don't really like, you may know the audience of that particular placement, but still you will be guessing in a way. For those advertisers and for awareness, I see the huge value in it. For me, coming from the B2B world, that's going to be an issue to recognize the context of the conversation and be relevant with my 5 figures offer that I would like to place in someone like talking to a free version of the OpenAI model. I don't think that there is a fit. It's not even like the long tail marketing. I would probably say that this is the context. Yeah, exactly. Too many contexts and too many keywords and too much noise. So for the model to actually recognize a good conversation to place my high ticket offer B2B ad in front of the customer, I doubt that there is still a good match there. But for best tennis shoes, or what to pick between the most recent versions of the MacBook models, for sure. That would be the right placement for the ad, because the intent is much easier to comprehend, and like those ads could be way more relevant than many B2B ads that require high intent and rich context before to be relevant to what we're seeing. And I hope that answers your question. All right. So just in case you missed it, we do have the way to interact with us. I highly encourage you to book your AI visibility snapshot with us. So thank you, Nina, for dropping the link in the chat again. And this is kind of like where we can go over your visibility, your brand performance, and look up under the hood, sneak peek under the hood, how AI currently sees you. And thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate your time. Thank you, Gary, for super interesting questions. It was a pleasure to answer them. So thank you for everybody who joined, and see you guys around. See you during the next sessions. Thank you so much. Appreciate your